President Edgar Lungu has commissioned the Sunbed Bioenergy Limited Cassava Outgrow Scheme project in Kawamba district. Government has launched the first ever hepatitis B vaccination project aimed at protecting health workers against the virus. This is time for the news on QTV. The details. President Edgar Lungu has commissioned the Sunbed Bioenergy Cassava Limited project outgrower scheme in Kawamba district. President Lungu is optimistic the commissioned cassava outgrower scheme will change the cassava industry in the country. Speaking at a ceremony to commission the project, President Edgar Lungu affirmed the government's resolve to continue supporting cassava growing and its value addition in the country. President Lungu has observed that cassava production is in fact not alien in Zambia, for it is the second largest produced crop from maize. He says government will thus continue to partner with the private sector, such as Sunbed, so that the cassava industry and the agriculture sector at large thrives. President Lungu has urged the private sector in the country to emulate the step Sunbed Bioenergy has taken. He says government is pleased with the efforts that the private sector has shown in the agriculture sector.
Well, there are no questions, but to be here and see that this thing takes shape, because when we started we were together, there were a lot of skeptics. And so it's time to prove that this is what we meant.
Yeah.
You see, so we are lucky that the African Development Bank current president is fully behind it, and it's one man who was keeping inspiring me that in cassava there's food, cassava there's energy, cassava there's wealth.
Yeah.
He explained to me how West Africa has used cassava for food, has used cassava for energy. And when people were doubting, he kept encouraging me, and now we are here. So I think that's probably wrong.
I think so, and I think when you come to the nursery today, so the main purpose is to take you to the nursery and show you the work we have done. People said we will not get these type of yields in Zambia to do that. But I think when we go down there, you'll see that we have the best cassava in the whole of Zambia, and it's ready, very much ready for industrial application. We really do appreciate it.
And Agriculture Minister Michael Katambo has expressed happiness the commissioned project will contribute to the country's food basket and the energy sector. He notes that the people of Kawamba should, however, be the main beneficiaries of the project. Meanwhile, Sunbed Chief Executive Officer Richard Bennett has disclosed that once operational, the project will contribute 10% of fuel to the country's fuel industry. The government has launched the first ever hepatitis B vaccination project aimed at protecting health workers against the virus. Hepatitis B, which is a viral infection that attacks the liver, is mostly transmitted from the mother-child during birth and through contact with blood or other body fluids, and causes acute and chronic diseases. Officiating at the launch, Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary Kennedy Malama has explained that the pilot project is targeting healthcare workers and students in nursing schools in Kalushi district. And Dr. Malama says the project is being implemented by the Ministry of Health and the Center for Infectious Disease Research in Zambia, CIDES. He states that the project speaks to government's agenda of enhancing human capital in the quest for universal health coverage through ensuring a healthy workforce.
As a sector, one of our major focus is to ensure that caring for the carer, in this sense, the carer being healthcare workers, is on top of our agenda at all times. And today's launch is speaking to the overall government agenda of enhancing human capital development. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, the problem of hepatitis B, as it has been alluded to, affects the entire global community. It is a viral infection that attacks the liver and can cause both sudden and long-term disease. The virus is commonly transmitted from mother to child during birth and delivery, as well as through contact with blood or other body fluids. The World Health Organization estimates that in 2015, 257 million people globally were living with chronic hepatitis B infection.
And CIDES Chief Scientific Officer Roma Chilengi says The pilot project is aimed at investigating the cost of vaccinating health care workers against hepatitis B virus. Dr. Chilengi states that the project will also evaluate the feasibility, acceptability and implementation factors that will affirm in the possible scale-up of the project throughout Zambia.
It is further complicated because diagnosis for viral hepatitis is complex, and unfortunately we do not routinely screen for hepatitis B. Permanent Secretary, you would be aware that the closest statistic we have nationally is from our Zambia survey from 2016, during which it was estimated that up to about 5.6% of our adult population may be exposed to viral hepatitis. We don't have accurately designed studies that will give us a specific estimate of the prevalence of this condition, because the Zambia study was a cross-sectional survey with a representative national sample. So the fact that diagnosis is not routinely offered means we really don't know how many cases we may be missing as we attend to the ill population in our country.
Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampiongo has been challenged to tell the nation which political party is being investigated for promoting the introduction of homosexuality in Zambia. Mr. Kampiongo is reported to have revealed that his ministry has commenced investigations on a political party that has allegedly received funding from donors to propagate homosexuality in the country. But UPND Secretary General Stephen Katuka has described Mr. Kampiongo's revelation as total nonsense. Mr. Katuka has dared Mr. Kampiongo to produce evidence on the political party he claims has received funding to propagate homosexuality in Zambia. In an interview with QTV News, Mr. Katuka has reminded Mr. Kampiongo that, as the person in charge of a ministry responsible for conducting investigations, it is his duty to tell the nation the truth. Mr. Katuka has maintained that the UPND does not receive any single penny from an external funder. He says all the funding of his party comes from its members.
It is total nonsense. It's nonsense. I know nothing about that. If he knows, let him produce the evidence. He belongs to a ministry whose duty is to investigate. He has trained investigator. Let him investigate and come out with the truth than speculating and waffling. We have our own funding. Never received a single penny from any external funder. We are backed up here. You know, we have Ms. Kabwiku here, well backed.
Police have picked up a decomposed body of a 25-year-old woman who went missing on New Year's Day in Kapirimposhi district. The woman is said to have gone missing from a drinking party at Kalweo Market around 05 hours. The decomposed body, which was also partially tampered with by suspected dogs, was picked up on Monday morning at Dewa Farm in Kalweo area. Central Province Police Commissioner Chola Katanga has confirmed to the NIS that the incident happened between the 1st and the 5th of January 2020. Ms. Takatanga has identified the deceased as Charity Mukala, adding that the victim was murdered by unknown people and dumped near the said farm. He says due to the decomposed state of the body, the relatives have been advised to bury the deceased and mark the grave awaiting exhumation. No arrests have been made, but the police have instituted investigations into the matter. The ruling PF has maintained President Edgar Lungu is its presidential candidate for the 2021 general elections. Secretary General Davis Mwila says the Central Committee has chosen President Lungu to be the party's presidential candidate. Speaking at a media briefing to receive defectors from the Zambia Republican Party and the United Progressive Party, Mr. Mwila has also refuted assertions the PF is likely to rig the next year's general elections. Mr. Mwila has wondered how the PF can rig the elections when it has worked for the Zambian people. He claims there is no political party in the country that has delivered development in the country than his party has done.
The Central Committee has given us a directive, instructions and secretariat, that we have to bring all the people who went and the new members to the party. So he million eyo tule bombapo. That's why bachilanda ba deputy band. Ngamu ashita player okufuma ku Liverpool. Aisa kumani date mu wike pa bench. Nishi mwa mushti. GPM afuma ku UPND date mu wike pa bench. Bandi na tishwa tukutainisha. National Vice Chairman wa mobilization. Yes. Icho abaledi laba UPND. Nabe shiba. Capacity GPM wakwete. Politics is about numbers. Yes. GPM was following. Yes. Our ones are following. Yes. We want the numbers to go up. Yes.
Speaking at the same media briefing, PF National Vice Mobilization Chairperson Geoffrey Mwamba, popularly known as GBM, says he is confident that National Democratic Congress NDC President Chishimba Kambwili will also soon rejoin the Patriotic Front.
Choni mona no munyina netishimba Kambwili muisaka mana filialela ndapama paper ma politics analekeni mwewe na uine akabwela ndi shitafye elo badiale bomba na bwa UPND Ewa beshibanine. Vice President. Engatala bana Vice President waka inde chileba. Ale mona waka musunga. Bale fwayo kumubomfya. Lombande mona ala isuko mutwe. Ala ishibo mutwe bana bale mubomfya fye. Ala nangu fye aba puchita support. Fila banchitile. Baya bula 75 ama NMC members. Baya batita tulefwa Mushe na chinshi bashaka chitrefilia. Elolesa wa maka. Aisa bula 2016 aleka tuwapitilila State House.
And one of the defectors, a former UPP Secretary General Oscar Kaye, says he is impressed with the development that the PF has brought to Zambia and has joined because he wants to work with them.
Officially, na bwela mu PF. Nifatwaleka kemipango na kutungirira basata. Naisha twashira bikapa bahati kalungu. Nifatwaleka mfwale mipango. Nokumekira gashiwa kibalungu bateka. Lero twabwela.
To send Zambia Republican ama messages yabili. Uku PF, uku ZRP. Why I've said that is because we always support PF. So to reach Mona, I Secretary General and you go at our Chashupa. We can't be carrying two messages. We cannot what a ZRP uku PF. The best is in a twingy omumwile. Elonga mwalimbwene mu 2016 kula twale wenkondo kurungushi. Nena le bange fitala. Kaishina isalelo. Kuisa yampana pamona abalumendo abali pano. Bakuti tukwishe bola. The party I'm coming from the MMD. Oh! MMD, Chwela. Awena Chwela. Nombanga mamona intunguru stukweke kaya kwata kapatulula. In terms of development infrastructure, awe mkwai waka ele.
The Civil Society's Killing Up Nutrition Alliance has welcomed the directive by the Zambia National Service Commander, Lieutenant General Nathan Mulenga, for the ZNS unit in Northwestern Province, Luapula and Northern Provinces to open up more land for cultivation to increase food production. CSO Sun Country Coordinator Matthews Muhuru is delighted that the ZNS Command is heeding to President Edgar Lungu's directive for the service to increase its agricultural production. Mr. Muhuru says the directive by President Lungu is progressive as the northern part of the country continues to receive good rainfall amidst effects of climate change.
We would want to take this opportunity to advise the Zambia National Service to focus more on producing foods that are responsive to the nutritional needs of Zambia and not just focus on maize production. So if you look at the areas where this food production is going to take place, these are areas that are well known for production of diverse foods such as pulses, fruits, tubers, and grains, which would also include not only maize but also millet and sorghum. So we stand ready as the Civil Society Scaling Up Nutrition Alliance to support the Zambia National Service as they embark on this food production exercise. And we make a call also to the ZNS to consider expanding the coverage to not just be in the 3 provinces, but to also the other areas that have been affected very negatively by climate change and just the drought that we saw in the 2018-2019 farming season, and invest more in irrigation technology that would support these provinces to produce foods.
Police Public Complaints Commission (PPCC) has called on the police to work together with the community in their execution of duties. Acting PPCC Chairperson Mary Nkandu says the Commission will endeavour to ensure that the rights of the community are not violated by the police. Speaking when the PPCC visited Sananga District, Ms. Nkandu reminded the police of their duty to protect citizens. Ms. Nkandu states that the Commission's tour in the district is meant to educate the community on the procedure to lodge a complaint against the misconduct of the police. She says district council secretaries have been given a mandate to receive complaints from the general public against the police, as PPCC is not present in all the districts. And Sananga District Administrative Officer Maureen Kabani has commended the PPCC for its continued sensitization in Sananga District. The Livingstone High Court says it has recorded tremendous results in dispensing justice for the year 2019, with a total of 390 criminal cases disposed of out of a total of 465 cases. Livingstone High Court Judge Kenneth Mulife says only 75 cases were brought forward from 2019 to the 2020 session of the High Court. In terms of civil cases, 310 cases were carried forward from 2018, while 177 new cases were received, bringing the total for 2019 to 487. Justice Mulife says this was a great achievement and testimony of the hard work put in by the High Court judges and the magistrates in the local and subordinate courts and the support staff. The news reports that the High Court judge said this in Livingstone during the ceremonial opening of the Livingstone High Court session. And Justice Mulife said the judiciary had devised various initiatives to enhance service delivery, and top among them for Southern Province was the introduction of court-annexed mediation as an alternative dispute resolution mechanism. Judge Mulife is confident mediation would expedite the resolution of legal disputes and decongest cause lists and reduce the cost of litigation, among other benefits. Kaizen Institute of Zambia Chief Executive Officer Chola Mwitwa has observed that the need for young entrepreneurs in the country to be innovative. Mr. Mwitwa is encouraging people with businesses to increase their competitiveness and efficiency beyond Zambia's borders. He says his institute is empowering youths with skills development, which has also contributed to some of them finding formal employment, while others becoming entrepreneurs. A concerned resident of Kalingalinga has bemoaned the slow pace at which contractors constructing drainages along the Alikinkata Road are moving. Frank Kope says the Road Development Agency RDA should intervene as businesses that are along the road where works are being carried out have been affected. He has also told Q News that contractors claim that the drainages would be completed in 3 months, but that the construction works have protracted to almost 9 months now.
So we asked the RDA to look into this issue. One thing, if you look at these drainages, the roads are getting damaged with the water, the soil erosion. because now the rains are here, the drainages are flooded, and these guys are slow. Not only that, but like we have businesses on these streets that have been affected. A lot of businesses have been affected. When we sat about to talk about the road, we were promised that this road would take 3 months to be complete. But now it's more than 9 months. Our businesses are affected. We are not compensated about this project. So please look into this issue and make sure that this contractor works on these drainages in good time so that we can start operating our businesses normally. Otherwise, I would say that they're stealing from us because like we're not making money anymore because of the same stables that they have brought.
Northern Province Minister Chungu Bwalia has disclosed that government has released 10 million kwacha to pay farmers in 5 districts in the northern region who supplied maize to the Food Reserve Agency FRA. Mr. Bwalia says the money was released to the banks in their respective districts and that farmers will start receiving their money by Tuesday this week. He states that the districts include Kasama, Mongwi, Chilubi, Luwingu and Mporokoso respectively. The news reports that Mr. Bwalia has also assured all farmers in their respective districts who supplied their maize to the agency that they will be paid all their dues. Mr. Bwalia has reiterated government's commitment in delivering better road infrastructure to people in the province. He states that improved road network will help people in the region, especially farmers, to easily access market for their farm produce. On that note, we've come to the end of the news, but before I take a run, here is a recap of stories in the headlines. President Edgar Lungu has commissioned the Sunbit Bioenergy Limited Cassava Outgrower Scheme project in Kawambwa district. Government has launched the first ever hepatitis B vaccination project aimed at protecting health workers against the virus. That's the news. Bye-bye. God bless.